historic museum and hangar. You may have wondered what the RTX was. I'm gonna guess that at least a few of you were like, what is RTX? In 2021, United Technologies merged with Raytheon Technologies and ultimately formed the corporation known as RTX. There are 3 businesses within RTX. Pratt & Whitney makes jet engines. Collins Aerospace makes a lot of stuff, spacesuit, landing gear, ejection seats. And Raytheon. Raytheon makes missiles. The makeup of these businesses created the largest aerospace and defense business in the world. You are standing in Pratt & Whitney's museum. We use this space for a variety of events and meetings. In 2025, Pratt & Whitney will celebrate its 100th anniversary. Our impact on aviation is legendary. As you look around at our history of engines, you'll see other artifacts around the building. I'd like to point out just a couple really cool ones. There's a desk over here. Charles Lindbergh used to sit at that desk when he came to visit. In the top left-hand corner, you'll see that he signed it. Over there, there's a shovel. That shovel was used in 1935 for the original groundbreaking of this building. The photo that's paired with that shovel, I particularly am fond of. One, it shows that this land was covered in tobacco barns. It was all farmland. And the person doing the ribbon cutting, or the groundbreaking, excuse me, is a woman in 1935. She is the wife of our founder, Frederick Rentschler. Please feel free to look around and enjoy this space. If you have any questions, don't hesitate to ask. I would like to just remind you that I'm part of the communications function and not part of engineering, so history questions are good. Technical questions, my answers are going to be super questionable. Okay? Have a good day.
Thank you, Heather, and thank you for hosting us. And for those who haven't got a cup of coffee, I promised everybody coffee and a Danish. Please make sure you go back, start the lineup again, get your coffee. Welcome to the 2023 annual meeting. I am very pleased to have you all with us this morning and want to walk you through a little bit of what maybe you already know, which is COVID and the effect that COVID has had on all of us and everything we do, not the least of which is economic development and how it's practiced. Our board in 2021 recognized this and said we need to have a new plan. We need to recognize what has changed about economic development. We need to recognize what we're going to do differently in response. And we are now 1 year into a new strategic plan, and we're very excited this morning to share with you what we've learned, what we're practicing on behalf of our region as it relates to the rest of the world in economic development. One thing that we know is that while COVID may have given us some lemons, we know how to squeeze them just right to get some pretty tasty lemonade. And one of the lemonades that we made was around HeartLift, a program that we created with our partners at the City of Hartford to recognize that our retail and ground floor sector had been hit hard. The restaurants, the retail that we all had come to expect in the city was gone for the most part. We needed to recreate it. So we worked with the mayor to create a program called HeartLift, where the mayor gave about $6 million into a grant program to help us recreate that scene. Very excited to announce that we have 63 new restaurants and retail establishments that are opening in the city of Hartford. Some have already opened, some are being opened. I invite you to take a walk down Pratt Street. You're going to see new places to shop, to dine, to have a drink, to have some food. But even more excited to announce that over 70% of these new restaurants and retail are minority or women-owned businesses. This program to date has filled 236,000 square feet of former vacant space in the city of Hartford. And I want to point out, when I say city of Hartford, I mean the city. The mayor was very specific in pointing out that when we built this program, it had to hit every neighborhood, not just the downtown core. And when you look at where the investments are being made, about 50% of them are in the neighborhoods, and about 50% of them are downtown. $6.8 million already on the streets, representing 772 new jobs in the city of Hartford. The Chamber has been working tirelessly in implementing this program, but in addition to all of that, they're doing other events for our small business community inside the city of Hartford, doing regular chamber chats, right? Bringing our small business community together, giving them the tools and techniques that they need to survive in the new world. Doing events like the Heartlift Showcase, where we introduce these new restaurants and retail to our community, to give you the opportunity to be one of the first patrons in these new establishments. And then finally, things like the Hustle Hour. Again, an evening event where we get people together, creating new cohorts, creating new networking opportunities, again, for our small business community. I want to thank our board for the Hartford Chamber of Commerce. And I hope when you take a look at the names that are on here, you're going to see that every neighborhood is represented. This is not a downtown-centric board. This is a board focused on the city of Hartford and the small business community, giving our small businesses the support that they need to survive, thrive, and prosper. This morning, I also have a wonderful opportunity to introduce you to one of these new entrepreneurs and talk about a new restaurant that's opening up on Trumbull in the city of Hartford. I'm going to introduce Melissa Mellinson, but I'd like you to take a look at her resume, a small portion of it up here on the screen. Founder and CEO of Lumi Hospitality, founder of Emery's, which is our new restaurant, and a board member of the Hartford Chamber of Commerce. Very busy, very active, and a 100% Hartford supporter. Melissa.
Good morning, everyone, and thank you, David, for the introduction. I've met many of you in this room before. I know you in a lot of different ways, friends, colleagues, even some of my team are here today. But likely you know me for a lot of different reasons. As David mentioned, I have a few things going on. But I'll give you a little bit of background on myself. First and foremost, I'm a wife and a mother. Two beautiful girls up there. Actually, they're Emmy and Aubrey of Emery's, which I'll get to. You've probably met my family as we are on Pratt Street in Hartford or in Bushnell Park or at any of the great events and attractions that we have going on. You may also know me as the owner of Lumi Hospitality. We're a marketing and events firm based in downtown Hartford since 2016. And since our start here, we have become more and more invested in our capital city. Perhaps you've attended some of our events that we have thrown in the city of Hartford, whether it was Picnic in the Park or the theatrical dinner experiences that we put on at the Goodwin Hotel during COVID. Perhaps it was Domingo Hartford, Hartford's first open streets program that launched last year. Maybe it was at Pratt Street Winter Village on Pratt Street or any of the other Pratt Street events that we put on throughout the year. Or maybe we know each other because I am involved in several different endeavors, committees, and organizations here in Hartford, including sitting on the board for the Hartford Chamber of Commerce. But I do want to talk about when I first came to Hartford back in 2016. When I first started my firm and I told my friends and family that I was going to be leasing office space in downtown Hartford, a lot of my friends and family replied with, "Are you crazy?" You know, we are negative nutmeggers, so I got a lot of questions. There's nothing going on down there. Why do you want to be there? Where are you going to park? It's not safe. Are you scared? A lot of comments that basically boiled down to, I think you're crazy. But when I looked at Hartford, I saw something that they did not see. I saw opportunity. The opportunity to create, to build, and to be part of something really exciting. Now, to start a small business, whether it's in Hartford or anywhere else, you do have to be a little bit crazy. You have to be ready to jump off of a cliff and hang on for dear life and hope that your plans somehow work out and be ready to work really, really hard to make it happen. And as I got my business off the ground, I found out that there was a whole lot of other crazy people out there in our little Hartford community that cared about Hartford and believed in Hartford just as much as I did, but that were also there to support each other through thick and thin. And pretty early on, I knew that I had made the right choice in coming to downtown Hartford. In 2019, when the Hartford Chamber of Commerce was reborn under the leadership of Julio Concepcion, I was not surprised. It made perfect sense to me because I had been using Julio as a resource, as a business owner, ever since I first came to Hartford. Even before he was the executive director of the chamber, he was helping me by making introductions, being a pillar of support, or just giving general guidance. If you are a business owner like me, you know that it can be pretty isolating at times. It can feel like no one else understands what you are going through. But for me, Julio and the chamber and the network that the chamber created provided a support system and has proven to be invaluable over the years. Julio is always willing to pick up the phone to listen to my crazy ideas or to help me with anything really, whether it's pointing me in the right direction or making a connection. And it's not just Julio, of course. He has an amazing team at the chamber. Marion joined the chamber and matched Julio's passion for Hartford and matched his stride step for step. Marion and Julio truly do live and breathe Hartford and care very deeply. This past year, the Hartford Chamber of Commerce and the City of Hartford supported me and many other businesses in a way that has been instrumental in helping me propel my entrepreneurial journey forward. My new business venture, Emery Specialty Sweets and Sodas, was awarded with a match grant through the HeartLift program that allowed me to complete a build-out on a space that had sat vacant on Trumbull Street, right in the middle of our downtown business district for 5 years. The last business that had taken that space was a FedEx that closed in 2016, and after them, the space was demoed and sat empty. It took a lot of imagination on my end to see what that space could be, but it took the chamber's support and belief in me that allowed me to take that step forward. I never would have been able to bring my vision to life without the chamber's support. And it wasn't only the funds. It was helping navigate the permitting process, answering random questions I had, and all the way to helping me celebrate my grand opening this last weekend with a ribbon cutting. The HeartLift program has helped over 60 businesses like mine in Hartford, and all these businesses are bringing fresh energy and life into what used to be vacant retail spaces. They see the good that is here, these other business owners, just like I did. They also see the opportunity of what it can be. Many of these entrepreneurs would not have been able to get off the ground without the HeartLift program. And so remember, you have to be a little crazy to become a business owner, and you probably have to be really crazy to be brave enough to open up a business in Hartford, especially right after COVID. But if there's one thing that I've learned over these last several years, it is that crazy is only crazy until it works. But thank you guys so much. And as you can see, the Hartford Chamber supports many different businesses, and we all should be thankful for their support here in the city of Hartford.
Thank you, Melissa. And, you know, one thing that I want to point out about these 63 new establishments is how different they are, right? These are folks just like Melissa who are, by and large, they're younger folks, a diverse group that is investing not just their time, their money, they're investing their futures in Hartford, right? They are creating for us the city that we all want Hartford to be. And there's only one thing we have to do is support them, right? Go out for a cup of coffee, take your kids downtown and go skating in Bushnell Park, and then run over and grab yourself an ice cream float, right? That's all we're asking you to do. We're asking you to have ice cream, right? Walk down Pratt Street if you don't want ice cream, grab a beer, go to the pastry shop, Bloom Bake Shop, right? That's all you need to do to support your city, to support the future, to get the city that we all want and deserve, and that Melissa and the folks like her are putting their lives, their livelihoods, they're signing their houses, second notes, right? They are putting it all on the line because they believe that there's a future here in Hartford. They believe that this is worth doing. So thank you, Melissa, for believing in yourself. Thank you, Julio and the Chamber, for providing the support to help you and all the others. But now I want to introduce our partner in all of this, Mayor Bronin, right? He's the mind behind the entire concept. How do we get ground floor retail back in the city of Hartford? And who could he partner with other than the Chamber to do it? So first, I want to thank the mayor for entrusting us with the program, entrusting us with the money to see this happen. And thank you for the partnership that the city has had with the Chamber, with MHA, over my 5 years here in Hartford. Mayor Bronin.
The cold keeps cutting through the tape on the passenger window. And I was hoping to
Good morning, everybody. Thank you so much, David. And I want to say a huge thank you to Julio and to Marion and the entire team at the Chamber, and most especially to all the business owners who have made that investment, because HeartLift is a public-private partnership. It is not a no-strings-attached grant. It takes a significant skin in the game from every single one of the entrepreneurs, and as you can see, it has made a huge difference. We were really proud this year when it was recognized nationally by the International Economic Development Council as the best use of federal funds for economic development in the country. And I think that's a testament to the fact that it was well designed, but also well executed, and also really met a need, that there were so many business owners who were ready to make that commitment but needed a little help to get over that hurdle, and we've seen it make a difference. And I think one of the other important things to share today is that, you know, in public policy, it's important to look yourself in the mirror, recognize when things aren't working, change course, step back. It's equally important to reinforce success. And so we have nearly doubled the initial allocation to the HeartLift to make sure that the momentum and the progress that we've seen so far can continue to build in the years ahead. And as that new entrepreneurs, new restaurants, coffee shops, bakeries want to open up, that there's the opportunity to continue partnering and activating those spaces. And I really am thankful to the Chamber for that, and I will say, you know, I was asked to come and talk about that, which I'm proud to do, but I don't always follow instructions, so I'm going to take the chance to now just add a few more things. you can feel that some of that momentum that we had coming into 2020 is coming back. There's no question that the pandemic took the wind out of our sails. We were firing on all cylinders coming into 2020, and it slowed us down. But you can feel it coming back, and part of it is those storefronts opening up. Part of it is the 3,000 units of housing that have already been built. Part of it's the fact that people are aware there's about 2,500 more units in the pipeline right now at various stages of development. We see new investments coming in and being announced almost every week, whether it's that the XL Center is finally on the cusp of a significant investment to modernize the facility, whether it's the fact that Randy Salvatore, in addition to the properties around the baseball park, now can develop the 13-acre RPI campus nearby, whether it's the fact that UConn is making a new and significant commitment to downtown and expanding its presence, or whether it is all the businesses and all the housing that I talked about. But I really want to stress, I am as optimistic as I have ever been. And when I first was elected, it was around this time, 8 years ago in 2015, the first sort of big public event that I did after that election was a MetroHartford Alliance annual meeting in the, or maybe it was a Rising Star breakfast, whatever it was, but over in Infinity Hall. And what I said was similar to what David said, which is, come downtown, come out for dinner, come to a show, make sure your teams are doing the same. That's all really important. But I do want to go beyond what David said, because that is important, but the truth is that's not enough. I'm looking out at this room and I see so many people who are in so many rooms where you have the ability to influence the way people think about our city, the way people invest in our city, not just here in Connecticut, but around the country. And so I would ask for your help in two things. I might grow that list as I talk. One, help make us make the case for continuing to keep our foot on the gas when it comes to that residential development. I believe deeply that making sure that the downtown is a neighborhood and not just an office park is the absolute key to our success in creating a vibrant downtown in the years ahead. And that's going to be key to the success of supporting all the commercial buildings and all the businesses that are down there. We don't have as many people in offices. We need people living. The economics of those projects require public-private partnership. They work when we do it right. We've been doing it right, but we need to keep up that momentum, and that means we need all of you advocating for that and making sure that everybody, including at the state, knows why it matters. And then the second thing is we cannot just yield in the face of the changing work environment and return and remote work. Would love to have as many of your teams come into the office as soon as possible, but beyond that, there are still companies in Connecticut and across the country that are asking where they should have a footprint. It's not just people getting out of the offices. It's companies rethinking what their footprint looks like. And we've got to think about that as an opportunity, not just a challenge. And so we need everybody in this room, as I said 8 years ago, and I've said many times this, we need everybody in this room to be evangelists for Hartford, to persuade and make the case that this is a place to be, both because it's cost effective and because with everything that's going on, we're on the path to creating that vibrant, energetic Hartford core that will sustain and support any business that decides to invest. So I ask for your help in doing those things, and I think if we do those things, then we're going to be able to look back at this moment and say that was a turning point where we stopped talking about Hartford's potential and started to see the beautiful, vibrant, active, energetic city that we all want. So thank you all so much for the partnership. Thank you for everybody's commitment to the Alliance and through the Alliance to the city of Hartford. Go Hartford.
As the sun went down over the mill towns,
Thank you, Mayor. So prior to COVID, one of the top things our companies, big and small, would ask us, how can you help us retain our talent? After COVID, the number one thing our companies would ask us is, how can you help us retain our talent? Did COVID change it? Oh yeah. Think about what you do on a daily basis, how you interact with your employees, all the people that you hired in during COVID that were in a completely remote working situation. And now that we're trying to open our offices up again, we've got an entire cohort of young professionals that may or may not have done any professional networking in their professional career. We've got an entire cohort of young professionals that need hype today more than they ever did before to help them learn how to network, to help them build cohorts, not just in their own company, but across multiple companies, right, to import ideas from each other. So if COVID did anything for talent and how we retain our talent, it has made organizations like Hype even more important. Here's some numbers to give you why engaging your talent is so important, right? Engaging your talent has direct bottom line benefits to your company. 22% more productive. When your folks feel like they belong in their community, they're more productive. They're more engaged. They outperform their peers by a mere 147%. Right? Why do we need to engage them? Because it makes perfect dollars and cents to do so. So today, I want to introduce to you Jesse Emsey, who is the board chair of Hype, a board chair that sits for 1 year. So every year there's a new young person coming into this role and helping to direct the work of our young professional organization, Hype. So ladies and gentlemen, Jesse Emsey.
Hey folks, thank you David. Much like Melissa, I know most of you in this room, but for those who do not know me, my name is Jesse Imsey, and as David mentioned, I am chair of Hype this year, Hartford Young Professionals and Entrepreneurs. As you saw on the last slide, this past year we had an excellent group of young professionals who was on our leadership team, many of which are here today. So I do want to thank them as well for the support throughout this year. We've seen tremendous growth in Hype, and I have a few updates for you. But first, I just wanted to give a brief background on what we're about. At Hype, we truly believe opportunity is the driving force and strongest tool that we have to attract and retain talent in our region. And that's opportunity to grow your career, opportunity to make impacts on the community that we're involved in, as well as the opportunity to just make connections. So all of our events pertain to that central theme of opportunity. Our events fall into three different categories typically, everything from civic engagement to community involvement, so getting involved with many of our nonprofits, some of which are also in this room, as well as professional development opportunities, which ranges from opportunities such as the run-of-the-mill, happy hour at many of our favorite institutions in and around the Hartford area, to professional development opportunities in meeting many C-suite executives, politicians, things of that nature. So with that, one of our marquee events actually just occurred this past month. So on this next slide, you'll see about the Next Gen Summit. And this was the first year that we did this summit with the intention of bringing together entry-level to mid-level career professionals, as well as C-suite executives and workplace development professionals and experts to discuss this next generation of talent, specifically around Gen Z and millennials, in what is it that they want? How can we attract them to our companies? How can we attract them to our region? This conversation many of us have had over and over again in many of our different silos, our companies, within our areas of expertise, and even within our levels of experience. So entry-level folks have had this conversation with entry-level folks. C-suite executives have had this conversation with their boards. But this was really designed to break down those silos of those conversations to create a more holistic and all-encompassing conversation, hearing from different groups. So, you know, the Gen Zers can hear from the executives can hear from the Gen Zers. What is it that this next wave of talent is looking for? It spurred on some excellent conversation. We had a very high favorability rating as far as this event, and we're really looking forward to putting this event on again in the future. In addition to that, you know, we've had, you know, over a dozen different events throughout the year. In the next couple of weeks, we'll be releasing our event schedule for this upcoming year as well. So we do encourage you to stay tuned for that. On the next slide, you'll also see our growth this year was incredible. You know, we almost doubled the amount of, twofold the amount of new members, both from the partnership side as well as the individual side for Hype. So there are folks out there in our region who are looking to get involved. You know, as we go into this next year, that number goes to 0, and we look to improve. We look to grow even further. And my call to action to all of you today is to help us with that. So to go with the central theme of opportunity, the way that we can provide opportunity to our young professional talent, you know, is by reaching out, working with us. All of us in this room have our spheres of influence. If we put our you know, heads together, if we work together, we can solve all the issues that we'd like. So reach out, get involved. There's you know, I like to say there's no age limit with Hype. You know, obviously there are young professionals. You know, that you can tell they're young professionals. We want it to engage those folks, but no matter what level of experience you have, we want you involved with our organization, with our initiative. So come to the front here at some point, take a look at the Hype banner, scan it, get involved, reach out to myself, and we look forward to another successful year next year. So, you know, thank you for everything you guys do, and you know, I look forward to working with you in the future. Thanks.
Thank you. There's never not a good time to thank you, our investors. So I'm going to take the moment right now. Thank you for your investment in MHA. The work that you've just heard about can't be done without your support. I specifically want to call out our leadership and executive level investors. Thank you for the years of support that you've given MHA. Thank you for the years more of support that you're going to give MHA. Again, we cannot do this work without your support, so thank you. I want to talk to you a little bit about investor engagement. And investor engagement could mean a lot of different things. It could mean making sure that your announcements are in our heartbeat, which is every morning, 6 a.m., you should be receiving your daily edition of the heartbeat, right? Make sure that you're going onto our website, submit your news, you're going to get it on there. It could mean networking events, right? It could be being on our podcast. Investor engagement takes all kinds of different forms, but it also takes on a few different forms, and I want you to think about this for a moment. MHA will trailblaze when it comes to investor engagement, like we did in the logistics industry back in 2019, when we went out into the U.S. national scene and said, you should think about Hartford as a logistics hub. Trust me, we got laughed out of some rooms, but some people listened, right? We will trailblaze where we have to. Our tax study that we did back in 2019, where we did a comparative tax analysis between setting up a business here in Hartford and our competitor cities. that we repeated again this year, where we looked at our key competitor cities in the insurance and financial services sector. Not chosen by us, these cities, but chosen by the site selectors who said these are the top cities for insurance and financial services in the US. And we did a tax comparison and found that we were ranked number 2. Number 2 out of the top 15 cities in the US to place a new facility. We will trailblaze where we have to, but we will co-host, we will be the co-pilot when we need to be, as we were with the CEDS, the Comprehensive Economic Development Strategy, with the Capital Region Council of Governments, with our Legislative Affairs Council, where we're bringing in the top legislative decision makers, not only here in Connecticut, but at times nationwide. Our office vacancy working group, where we're talking about one of the most difficult challenges that our city might face in the coming years, the office vacancy situation. Or the regional sector partnerships that we started with Capital Workforce Partners to begin talking about how can we generate the tech talent and now the healthcare talent that this community needs now and in the future. And why do I call that investor engagement? Because it is investor engagement. We are representing your voice. If we can't get you in the room with us, we will represent your voice in these meetings. It is vital that the business community have a voice in all of these rooms. This morning, I want to bring up Leander Dolphin from Shipman and Goodwin to talk to you about how they've enlisted us for investor engagement and what they do with us. So, ladies and gentlemen, Leander Dolphin.
Oh, good morning, everyone. Thank you very much, David. I think I just ruined your microphone here. Thank you for inviting us. We have been in Connecticut for over 100 years, and in Hartford just as long. It is our home, and for us, our positioning statement is it is personal, because even though it's business, it's always personal. And I'll tell you a little bit about why that matters to me and how that connects to Hartford. I've lived in Hartford now since 2004, so I'm coming up on 20 years since I started at Shipman and Goodwin. And my husband and I purchased our first home here in Hartford. We've lived in that same house for almost as long as our daughter's been alive. She's going to be graduating from high school this year. We live in the historic and beautiful Blue Hills neighborhood in the North End. We are proud owners of our home and to be people who invest personally and professionally in Hartford. On the professional side, it really is about nurturing relationships. And I appreciated our relationship that really has grown over the last 3 years since I became managing partner with MetroHartford Alliance. It requires us to engage with the incredible professionals at MetroHartford, including David, including Kate, who, by the way, is an incredible golfer and joined us at Shipman's Women's Alliance event golfing this summer. She's incredible. And also Jean Goddard. You know, our marketing and business development professionals work closely with MetroHartford Alliance, and we focus on quarterly meetings where we talk about what we're doing, what we're seeing in the city, and how we can be helpful to each other. So some examples of that is the Hartford Taste event, which has been very successful in the last 2 years. We have proudly hosted the press day for that event on our patio, and it is quite the event, right? It's a launch for bringing in lots of people to our city and the great restaurants that we have and our great businesses as well. So we've continued to enjoy hosting that event. With the Connecticut Health Council, a number of our partners have now joined the council and as a member of the board, and we're excited to see the work that comes out of that council. With HYPE, very excited to see what's been going on, but not surprised. As someone who is now midlife, when I started here Finding a community of young professionals was challenging. But now I see, even after a pandemic, that there are people who are attracted to coming to Hartford because they see that you can build a life here, that there are places to go and entertainment that you could have, that this is still, per capita, one of the highest arts locations in the country, right? So we have a lot to offer young people, and we are proud of the work that we are doing with Hype. We hosted again at Shipman the Hartford Live event. Hartford, I think it's Hype Vibes at the Hartford Live in our patio as well. Heart Lift is also very personal to me. I have spent a lot of time on Pratt Street of late, and I'll tell you a little story. I went to Sunbury. I took myself. I'd actually volunteered with a street church, with an organization that I'm a member of. And then I took myself to lunch after at Sunbury, which was great because I hadn't been since it had been renovated. It was incredible. I took a snapshot of my delicious bowl of ramen, and I posted it on Instagram and Facebook. And what happened was remarkable. I mean, people engage at different levels on social media. But I had a friend from college. I went to Wesleyan. It's been 25 years. And she lives in California. And she said, my God, Hartford's changed since 1998 when I lived in Hartford. I thought that was great. Another friend who's moved to Atlanta said, wow, I'll have to stop there when I come back to Hartford. Those responses made me feel very encouraged. My husband also crashed my lunch with myself, and we went to Urban Lodge right after, right, to have a beer. What a great Saturday that turned out to be in our city, right? So it was another way that I really feel like living in the city, working in the city, and promoting our city is really at a core value for Shipman. We've also hosted the Informational Business 101 session for small business owners at Shipman as well. We, of course, have a strong corporate practice and business practice at Shipman. And what we want to do is encourage small businesses in our state and especially in Hartford as well. So we find that participating in that introduces small business owners to what is available to them in our city. And finally, as David mentioned, we share a number of our press releases with MetroHartford Alliance. You're a reliable partner. And it's great to see not only Shipman showing up, but also our peers and colleagues across the greater Hartford area. It's a who's who, and I really appreciate the news that comes through that. So I won't keep you much longer, but I appreciate the opportunity to talk to you about how Shipman has engaged with the Alliance over the last several years, and we look forward to continuing to invest. We think that it's the way to go for our future and strengthening our city. Thank you very much for your time.
Thank you. So now I want to talk to you about eds and meds. Right? In our industry, it's called eds and meds, the educational system and healthcare. And pre and post-COVID, I will tell you that Connecticut is consistently ranked as one of the top states in America for both educational and healthcare. Right? This is a calling card that we use on a regular basis as we're out trying to attract companies and people to move to our region. Companies and people make decisions based on a completely different set of criteria, but both of them, education and healthcare, are always one of the top drivers for a decision. We're going to hold off on the eds for a moment while we get ourselves ready for 2024 and some exciting new things on that. And this morning, we're going to focus on the meds, specifically around, and first off, thank you to our executive committee and board of the Connecticut Health Council for the work that was done on a new strategic plan for them. Right? Coming out of COVID, we realized that we needed to have something different there as well. And thank you to the group there that really got their hands into it and figured out what do we need to do to really elevate the already great work of our healthcare system. To do that, we brought in a new executive director for the Health Council. And if you haven't met Tiffany, you won't get out of this room, I guarantee you, without meeting her, because she's a dynamo and she's going to find you. If she doesn't know you, she's going to find you. So we have completely retooled. We have a new strategic plan for it. The one thing that has remained consistent and that I am ever so grateful for is Barry Simon. Working with Barry as we went through this transition has been at times very challenging for Barry. It's required a lot of patience and a lot of understanding, and for that I am deeply appreciative. But I think what we've got coming out of it is pretty special. It's pretty exciting, and I'm very happy to introduce the chair of the Connecticut Health Council, Barry Simon.
Well, thank you, David, and what a great meeting so far. I encourage you to take a second and just, those of you who are in the front, turn around and see what's going on in the back. But this is what the Health Council is really about, is gathering, people being able to connect. And this is more than just an annual meeting. It really is the essence of what the Metro Hartford is about. And so this year also was an opportunity for us at the Health Council to celebrate our 10 years and our ability to mark that at the Hartford Golf Club was a great event. In my role as chairman of the Health Council, I am privileged to represent this vibrant organization and its devoted members, and you saw them up on the screen. It is a great group to be working with. Our mission, embodied in our guiding statement, illuminates the path towards the future where health and wellness transcends boundaries. We serve as a catalyst for the health industry, fostering collaboration to propel equity, access, innovation, and economic growth for healthcare across Connecticut. A special acknowledgement is due to the work that this group has done. I am privileged to be working with the Executive Council. Your dedication and expertise have played a pivotal role in steering our organization forward during some really difficult times. Our role as the strategic convener of the healthcare industry stakeholders in Connecticut has been fortified through the strategic collaborations and us and you leading our industry forward. One noteworthy initiative illustrating our commitment to collaboration is the Capital Area Healthcare Partnership. As a co-convener of this regional sector partnership with Capital Workforce Partners, the Connecticut Health Council has united healthcare providers to collaboratively tackle shared challenges and bolstering economic healthcare industry in this region. This partnership, inspired by successful regional sector partnerships across the nation, is a testament to our commitment here in Hartford to positive change. Today, I'm thrilled to unveil a symbol encapsulating that spirit of our collective efforts, a new logo for the Connecticut Health Council. This emblem symbolizes unity, innovation, and our commitment to advancing healthcare in all and throughout Connecticut. It visually represents our shared vision for collaborative spirit defining our organization. As we reflect on accomplishments over the past 10 years and look forward into the future, let us continue to work hand in hand, united in our mission to promote equity and excellence in healthcare and wellness. Together, we can achieve transformative change and leave a lasting impact on the healthcare landscape in Connecticut. Thank you. And here is to another year of shared achievements, collective progress in advancing healthcare in Connecticut. Thank you.
Thank you, Barry. So if there's one sector that has been most affected by COVID, it is certainly our office sector. We have had to pivot in a way that nobody could have ever thought of 5 years ago. And I'd like to thank our IFS board in particular for helping us think through this pivot. Because what we've had to do is take what was normal economic development practice, which is find companies in the US marketplace that are looking for an expansion and bring them here. Prior to COVID, that would be anywhere from 10 to 20 companies per quarter looking for anywhere from 150 to 500,000 square feet. After COVID, what we have is an office market where the average lease space is about 3,500 square feet. So when we sit here trying to figure out what are we going to do, how are we going to address this, right? Companies aren't moving the way they used to. They aren't investing the way they used to. We have to pivot. We have to rethink what success looks like in economic development. And success for us means taking that old jobs narrative, right? For those who remember HQ2, like that's gone, right? We have to rethink this. So taking the jobs narrative, throwing that away and saying, okay, when we've got an unemployment rate in our office sector that climbed, mind you, from October or from September, where we had an unemployment rate as a region at about 3.5%. For our office markets, we were at 1.0%. Right? We climbed to 1.7% unemployment in October. So for us to go out into the US marketplace and pitch Hartford as a place to bring new companies, we don't have the people to give them, right? Companies are giving back office space, but they're not giving back workforce. So we have to rethink this. Jobs versus companies, right? We can't go after jobs because we don't have the people to give, but we can go after companies, right? We need to go after small insurtechs, right? It is what we are known for. The world knows us as the insurance capital. And foreign direct investment, what they need is a domicile. They need to be in the US marketplace. If you're in the UK and you're looking to set up a US operation, you need to have an office space. Now, most of these small insurtechs, they're not going to bring a lot of people, but what they will do is they'll land here and they'll grow here. They will find in us the talent that they need, the support that they need, that all of you give through a lot of the work that you're doing, right? They will find the support that they need to grow here. And as they grow, they will bring the tech talent that all of our industries need, be it healthcare, be it manufacturing, or be it insurance. So for us to pivot, we needed to find a partner. And we were very lucky to find a great partner with the UK government. Right? There's a lot of reasons why the United Kingdom makes sense for us. Our companies have been investing in London, and London has been investing in us for a long time. We're a known quantity. They know us, we know them. But we needed to formalize it. We needed to do something big. We needed to do something bold. And to talk about that, I'm very pleased to introduce to you Emma Wade Smith, who is His Majesty's Trade Commissioner for North America.
All right, thank you, David. So look, by my reckoning, by my watch, you've probably all been sitting, some of you standing, for best part of an hour, which statistically means many of you are imagining that ice cream float you're going to have this weekend in downtown Hartford. But possibly you're also feeling a little bit stiff. So I'm going to encourage you all to stand up. Just take a second. Just stand up, reach for this amazing ceiling. Just have a little bit of stretch. Say hi to your neighbor. Maybe shake hands if you haven't introduced yourselves. Here we go. Let's get that blood circulating again. Fantastic. You can sit down again now. Wonderful. Great. Well, thank you for indulging me on that. Having had the talk about healthcare, I think it's important just to kind of re-energize our bodies. And I've got some important news that I want to share with you. So I wanted you to all have your brains stimulated. Look, a very good morning to you all indeed. It's actually wonderful to be back here in Hartford, and particularly to be here at this incredible meeting in this amazing historic venue. So thank you for the invitation. As His Majesty's Trade Commissioner for North America, I lead a team of trade and investment experts across Canada and the United States. And together we work together to support economic growth and job creation, primarily through international trade and investment. So at a macro level, we're looking to remove the barriers that make it sticky to do transatlantic business. And we're also looking to build partnerships to create new opportunities for businesses to collaborate. On a micro level, we support individual companies to achieve their transatlantic business goals. So given our mandate, we're often on the hunt for great organizations to work with. Organizations that share our values and are equally passionate about creating economic opportunities that increase and spread the benefits of business. When we discovered the MetroHartford Alliance, we knew we'd found just that. An organization committed to working to better the economy of the Hartford region and also looking for ways to collaborate with others to create new opportunities to benefit this community. The United Kingdom and the state of Connecticut have built a strong partnership over recent times, and we continue to see this growth in areas such as manufacturing, life sciences, defense, and financial and professional services. And it's through our existing shared commercial endeavors that more than 22,000 people in the state of Connecticut go to work every day, thanks to the investments here by UK companies, or because local companies here are thriving because they're exporting their goods or their services to the UK. The value of those exported goods and services, by the way, around $2.5 billion every year. That makes the UK the third largest export market for Connecticut. So on behalf of those 22,000 employees, I want to thank every one of you here in this room who plays a part in sustaining this vibrant and dynamic activity. It's this partnership between the UK and Connecticut which has arguably grown most impressively in the area of insurance. Given the strengths that both of us have in this field, I think that's pretty logical and entirely understandable. So in the UK, we proudly talk about the story of Edward Lloyd, who began writing maritime insurance policies in his coffee house on London's Tower Street, all the way back in 1688. Of course, Lloyd's of London has gone on to become a standard bearer for insurance globally. But it wasn't too much later than that, actually. In the late 1700s, I believe, that the Hartford insurance industry came into being, based on shipping around the Connecticut River. Given these synergies of strength, it felt like a natural fit, a no-brainer, if you like, to develop this UK-Connecticut InsurTech corridor, building on the existing strong industry capability in both of our localities and recognizing that there was more we could do by working together to support our companies to explore and understand the opportunities for them to expand with our support. And I was here in March last year when we launched this very initiative. In just 22 months, thanks to the hard work and commitment of many people in this room, and particular shout out to Susan Winkler, who's an amazing, amazing advocate for this initiative. I'm thrilled to say that our InsurTech corridor has done so much to promote Connecticut and the United Kingdom as global hubs for insurance and insurance innovation. Indeed, this corridor has enabled 16 UK companies to find opportunities here in the Greater Hartford ecosystem. And today, I'm absolutely delighted to announce that 3 of these companies are opening offices here in Hartford as a direct result of the work of the MetroHartford Alliance and my team. So it won't be long before you see the following 3 names right here in the city and hopefully becoming vibrant members of this community. Provisico, which provides advanced forecasting technologies to enable flood resilience. Martix IQ, which provides telematics to aid insurers in gathering and harnessing driver analytics. And Gaia, a UK company providing the world's first IVF insurance product, which enables patients to access IVF services at a greatly reduced cost. All thanks to this UK-Connecticut partnership. And we look forward to many more success stories like these as this partnership between the UK and Connecticut continues to flourish over the months and years ahead. I wish all of you in this room every good fortune and success in this shared endeavor. Thank you so much for your partnership.
Thank you. And you know, the great thing about working with the UK and the team there is we figured out a system that works. And even more important is that this system that you just see is producing results already. We can rinse and repeat it, right? It is a program that can be used to help attract companies from other countries. We just need the partnerships, right? We need the introductions. We need what Emma represents to the UK. We need in other countries, and we're getting there, right? Hartford is the insurance capital of the world. It will be as the world starts to recognize us. The work with the UK government, however, isn't ending. We've got some exciting things that are happening with all of this increased interest, increased opportunity, and increased commerce. So this morning, I'd like to have Kevin Dillon come up from the Connecticut Airport Authority and walk you through some of the stuff that he's got going on.
Thank you, David. Good morning, everybody, and thank you for giving me a couple of minutes today to tell you about some of the initiatives that we have underway at Bradley Airport. But first, in terms of pandemic recovery, I'm pleased to say that we're almost back to our pre-pandemic numbers. I feel 2024 is going to be a great year for us, and I feel very confident that by the end of the calendar year, we'll be right back to where we were prior to the pandemic, and hopefully we start to resume that growth trajectory that we were on prior to the pandemic. But the way we're doing that is we continue to focus very heavily on service development. And I'm pleased to say that now we have more airlines and more nonstop locations than we had prior to the pandemic. So a lot of good things happening at Bradley. But in addition to focusing on that service development, we're also focused on bringing new services and amenities to the airport. For example, we just opened our first Starbucks. That was a much sought after concession at the airport, so very, very pleased to do that. But we're also starting a multi-million-dollar facelift of all of our concession outlets at the airport, and we're looking to bring new dining options to the airport as well. But we also started a major capital redevelopment of the terminal building, and that's on the heels of the $200 million plus that we invested into the new ground transportation center. We're now going to invest about $250 million into the terminal building, primarily focused on baggage handling processes as well as passenger flow in the building. One of the things that we try to do at Bradley and in the Connecticut Airport Authority is constantly focus on the customer experience and the convenience of Bradley. We may never have the route structure of a JFK or a Logan, but what those airports will never have is the convenience that you experience at Bradley Airport. And as testament to that, I'm pleased to say that we have now been named one of the top 10 airports in the country 7 years running by Condé Nast Readers Poll, something that we're very proud of at the Connecticut Airport Authority. Now, I want to spend just a moment to talk about our Aer Lingus service. We're very pleased that Aer Lingus has resumed service following the pandemic. They're doing extremely well. In fact, they are extending the service further into the winter than they originally planned based on the strength of the bookings. But I also want people to understand that that service is far more than Dublin. While we want everybody in the room to take your vacation to Ireland, when you consider European travel, you need to be aware that our flight connects into 20 major European cities. So it's far more than Dublin. And certainly, as Emma pointed out, European and in particular UK connectivity is extremely important to the business community here. So I'm very pleased today to announce that we are going to be entering into a public-private partnership with the Alliance to try to bring nonstop London service to Bradley. Our research has shown that we can certainly sustain the Aer Lingus service as well as at least one daily flight to London. By far and away, it would probably be the most successful transatlantic service that we could bring to Bradley. It is going to be a bit of a challenge, admittedly. We really want to energize this effort. We will probably have to work with the state to look for some type of revenue guarantee to entice an airline to be interested in providing the service. But we also want to work with the business community to understand first and foremost what your travel needs are to Europe, but in particular to London. And then we're also going to be looking for your commitment to the service. That's going to be very, very important as we try to entice an airline to provide this service. They're going to want to see that the business community is squarely behind this effort. So we do want to hear what level of travel you could commit to this new London service. So over the next weeks and months, we will be working with the Alliance and reaching out directly to you. I look forward to working with a lot of you on this very exciting initiative, and together I certainly think we can bring this home. So again, thank you very much.
Thank you. That's exciting news, and for us, we're very thrilled to be a part of it. Again, representing your voice with the Connecticut Airport Authority. Before I bring up our board chair, John Guy, there's a lot of work that's being done by the Alliance today, but it's being done by just a handful of very dedicated, talented people. And I'd like to take a moment right now just to ask if your staff stand up, be recognized, and thank you for the work that you're doing on behalf of our region. So now I'd like to introduce a video that we have produced. Thank you to our board, of course. All of this work can't be done without the guidance and direction of MHA's board, chaired by John Guy. While John is heading up, I want to show you a video that we have used on multiple occasions just to promote our region. John?
Good morning. I know I'm between you and going home, or at least getting back to business. For those of you who I don't know, my name is John Guy. I have been a Hartford community resident for coming on 12 years. My day job is with Webster Bank. So, Melissa, crazy? I spent my whole professional career working with crazy people, business people. And you know what makes them crazy? Is their belief that things that aren't readily visible to others is possible. One of the things I hoped you would see today is that that spirit resonates through the MetroHartford Alliance. The recognition, the coordination, the collaboration of bringing crazy people together to help tell the story about what might be possible, to help bring the resources together in a holistic way, leveraging partnerships and recognizing the competencies of those community partners to focus on the things that we all have in common and for them to be able to be led and supported by. So today we hope you walk away from here today with a holistic view of all the multiple facets that MHA, working with both the private and public sector, has on its agenda to make this region more vibrant. We secondarily hope you walk away with a little bit of energy feeling like you want to be a part of that. That as the mayor solicited, that you are capable, willing, and feel it and compassion to tell the story of this region. It's only through having that kind of energy, that kind of collaboration, that willingness to be sought out and viewed as being a little crazy that will help us achieve our goal. You have demonstrated through your time and your money that you understand the need. And for those of you who are sitting on the sideline, I hope today you'll feel a little more momentum to join us. But I wanted also to end by just saying thank you. We can do this only if we continue to work together. Have a fantastic holiday. Thank you for your support, and we look forward to having more opportunities to engage not only our existing partner, but those of you who are on the sideline. Have a good day, everybody. Thank you.